Hey guys, Dave from Wolfhard Hobbying here, and today we're going to take a look at painting ghosts. Great tutorial for just before Halloween. To serve as our example, we're going to be painting up the ghosts on Manfred's base here for his Torok of Night model. And I'm going to go with a blue color here, it's not a very difficult process on how to paint ghosts. It's basically a white base color and then your wash. In this case, I'm going for a blue, so I'm coming in with Drakenhof Nightshade. And thinning it out with a little bit of water so that this wash can really tint the white base coat. So just applying it ever so liberally. Not worrying about creases or anything like that, just working the color into the recesses of the ghost and just giving it a nice blue tint on those wisps and the rest of the model. But pretty straightforward here. You're just gonna wash the entire ghost and its wisp trail, and then we're gonna get onto the next part. So as you can see, it gives it a nice kind of bluish gray color, which you could just leave if you wanted to. It's not really the color effect that I really want to go for, but as you can see, if you used a green wash or anything like that, how you could easily just get a nice color going here. So I'm going to skip ahead here. And as you can see, my ghosts are a little bit darker now. I did use two washes of Drakenhof, just get this darker blue, as I didn't want a typical kind of ghost look to it. But next we're going to start our highlighting, and I'm coming in with Vallejo's medium blue. You can use any blue for this, or any medium color depending on what color you want your ghost to be. But I'm just going to be picking out the wisps on the back of the head, and starting from about where the skull is, because I want that to be the main energy source, or at least have that effect. So I'm just going to use the edge of my brush and bring it along the edges of the wisps, just to hit those higher points with the brush. Now you could dry brush this on as well, which would give you a little bit better of a transition, and I'm going to do that on the back ghost, but the two front ghosts I'm just going to do this edging technique. So bringing the camera in closer so you can kind of see better on the model. But as you can see, with just the wash, it gives it a really cool effect too. So again, you could just leave it with just the wash, but I wanted to go with a bit more detail. So here I'm picking out that wisp and bringing just the edge of my brush, or just the tip of my brush along that edge, just to pick it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the wisps and a little bit on the trails, as well as dry brush that back model, or the back ghost there, and then we'll take a look. So here it's all done with the medium blue. As you can see, you get a really cool effect. It doesn't really translate that well through the camera, but you could just, again, leave it here if you wanted a darker looking ghost. I prefer the dry brushing actually on the back, as it gives you a better transition. But I'm going to continue with the edging on the front two ghosts and dry brushing on the back for our next highlight here. But again, I think the dry brushing ghost looks a lot cleaner, a lot better, a little bit more wispier. So it's personal preference on how you want to go about making your ghost look. But continuing on with the edge highlighting on these ghosts here, I'm now going to come in with a brighter blue. So I'm coming in with Vallejo's Deep Sky Blue. This is a very big jump in blues, but the overall effect I think looks really cool afterwards, for both ways of doing the model. So just picking the wisps closest to the head, and going about halfway up, and then going to paint the entire skull this sky blue color. And I decided to kind of almost paint it like a lightning source, where like if the wisps meet each other, I put the blue there, so it kind of shows like, oh, there's maybe a little bit of power emanating in that area or what have you. Just because I just thought it would be a really cool effect, which does give the more of an energy effect look to the ghost, which works. With them being just kind of a part of the model, I didn't want them to overpower the rest of the Manfred model, so it's up to you on how you want to do it. Again, just picking out spots on the ghost that I wanted to give more of power running through it. The head kind of feels almost like fire, as well as you get kind of like these little sparks of energy flying through the ghost. So just picking out parts where I want to highlight and show a little bit more detail on the model. So again, I'm going to dry brush that back one just to show you how to get more of a, I guess, a realistic effect for a ghost, and then continue with the edging. Now with that all done, as you can see here, it does kind of look like energy, which is kind of a cool effect for the ghost too. And I did hit part of the wisp tails and everything like that. So again, with the edging, you kind of want to just pick where you want the energy to be coming from. And again, I like the dry brushing way of doing ghosts, but I wanted to, again, to show you both ways. So that way gives you a better transition, better power source type of idea. But it's up to you on how you want to do it. Again, leave a comment in the comment section below on which one you prefer. But to finish it off, I'm coming in with straight white. You can use any white from any line, and we're going to be dry brushing the white on the front models as well as the back models, as well as I want just the white to catch just the edges of that blue and not any further than that. Whereas I'm going to work it a little bit more up on the back ghost. So just to show you how I do my dry brushing on the back ghost here, is you just want to go side to side gently against the grain. Now these ghosts are very flimsy on the base, but so they're going to kind of move around on you, but you just kind of hold it in place and then start your dry brush. But just going against grain back and forth. You know, there's many videos on how to dry brush, so you can check those out on the internet. So but that's all I'm doing for the dry brushing there, and as you can see, it gives it a nice kind of transition and gradient, and with these points of where the ghost starts, you kind of want to put a little bit of power there, as that's where they're coming out from, sorry. But you know, just it's simple dry brush. You pick out where you want any of this power to go, and you can follow these steps with any color. You can start with your wash, then your mid-tone color, a bright color, and then your whites. It's pretty straightforward from here. Just going to dry brush just the faces on these guys. I'm not going to go too much further up the face, but I just wanted to catch kind of the skull and give it a bit of white. And I go a little bit too far up the head on this one, but it's an easy mistake to do, and it's very easy to fix. You can just come in with your Drakenhof, and you could wash the model again to tie all those colors together if you wanted to, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do just the same effect for this ghost on the bottom one, again, I like the dry brushing effect a lot better, but I wanted to show you guys both. So I would personally go with the dry brushing effect more. And that's it for the ghosts. I'm leaving their knives the same color as them, as it is a spectral knife, so just leaving it like that. Again, guys, I want to thank you for watching the video and supporting my channel. I have my links to my Patreon account and Facebook account in the description below. I want you guys to have a great day, and happy Halloween.